Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Adam from New England Rock and Metal Radio. I usually don't do this kind of thing. I'm more of a behind the scenes type of person. But I just wanted to take a minute and get real with you guys. There's been a lot of topics coming up within the past couple of days, within the past couple of weeks. Um, yeah, I just wanted to take a minute to get real with you guys. Especially with the state of the music scene here in New England, with AAF closing, um, and I've just been reading a lot of posts from people who are, rightfully upset. They don't really have any outlets for their music to be heard anymore, and they also don't have places to hear about new music, new bands that are coming up. And I've gone through the same exact thing coming from Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, lived there most of my life. Listened to the Rock 106.9 WCCC. Unfortunately, they closed their doors a couple of years ago. And a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually the person who created the Rock WCCC Revisited, the Facebook group. And I did that because of the impact that everybody at The Rock had on my lives. Um, uh, just discovering new music. There were times where I was at home, spending the night. Didn't have any plans, nothing to do. It was the DJs that kept me company, that kept me going. I listened to them while I was writing music, writing a book, in fact, that I eventually had published. So they really had a big impact on my life. So I definitely feel what everyone's saying about AAF. AAF was definitely the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, and and it's a sad day here in New England. It's a sad state that we're finding ourselves in, not just in New England, but across the country with the shutting of a lot of rock radio stations. Now we're left with pretty much just classic rock that's on the radio, the traditional FM waves, and there's really um, no outlet uh, to get new music from, at least in the traditional sense. And that's the sentiment that I hear from a lot of people. But that's not really the case. There are a lot of online stations who are absolutely killing it. In fact, that's one reason why I decided to create New England Rock and Metal Radio, is to serve as a way for people like myself to hear about new bands and to celebrate everything that New England is, and everything that New England has been over the years. I've been in and out of bands for many, many years, going back to probably the 90s. Um, and I've been following the New England music scene since then. I remember going to see bands like Toxic Field Mice, Tree, Gargantua Soul, Simple, Split Shift. Oh my God, you name it. Any number of bands, and that's why I include them. On the playlist when I broadcast from New England Rock and Metal Radio, NRM Radio, and a lot of the newer bands that are killing it too. Um, but I just wanted to let everyone know that um, there is there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's you, the music fan, the musician. Definitely get out there. Definitely make your voices heard. Uh, don't see the closing of AAF as a door that's shut, because it's really not. Um, it's going to open a lot of doors for a lot of people. Um, the closing of WCCC uh, in Hartford. Um, for me, it was a sad thing, and I decided to do something about it because they did play a lot of local music. They were the station who, in fact, broke Stained, um, as well as other bands, Gargantua Soul, who I mentioned. They played Tree, Simple, countless others. But if you guys are ever feeling down about this whole state of the music scene, go out there, start a band, um, start a webzine, start doing music reviews. There are a number of different ways that you can help support the scene, help support the music that you truly love. I guess my parting message to you is just follow your heart, um, and do what it is that you love. Um, and you know, Personally, me, I grew up in Connecticut again, and I didn't really listen to AAF all that much. But every so often, what I would do is I would tie a guitar string to my little FM antenna, the little radio in my bedroom, and I would run it all along the walls, all the way to the window, and stick it out the window. And I would actually pick the signal up. It was that strong to make it all the way down to New Haven. And I loved listening to the likes of Mike Shue, Mistress Carey, and again, I feel horrible for them, but I know they're gonna take a minute, come to their senses, and dust themselves off, and they're gonna do great things. They'll continue to do great things here in New England. Just as former members of the Rock 106.9 WCCC have done, um, in one way or another. In fact, I know there were a couple of people who went back and forth between WCCC and WAAF. John Osterlin, who hosted the Ozone, Jay Raven, known as Jay Ferrara, up in AAF. I know, a couple of others. So there's definitely a lot of connections between the two, and it's a hard thing to see the station that you love and that kept you company growing up all of a sudden close its doors. And it's one thing to have a station change formats. Um, I've seen that happen over the years, but it's another thing to have the station completely shut its doors. There's no more WCCC in Connecticut. There's no more AAF in Massachusetts, and but we will get through this. You as a musician, you as a music fan, um, we will definitely get through this. And again, like I said, my parting message to you is just follow what you love. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm the person who created the Rock 106.9 WCCC Revisited Facebook group. I did that as a way for people to come together, share their appreciation for WCCC, and also as a way to keep tabs on what people from WCCC are up to now. as a way to keep connected. And I was posting in the group earlier today, in fact, and someone sent me a message saying, "Why are you posting in this group? Why are you living in the past?" And I was dumbfounded. I didn't know really how to respond. And it doesn't matter if WCCC closed its doors yesterday or 10 years ago. That's irrelevant. Something similar happened to AAF, so I just happened to be posting there, and I want people to know that they can do the same thing with WAAF. Create a Facebook group. Connect with Mike Shu, Mistress Carrie, and all of your other favorite personalities from the station. Um, you know, but this is not a time to be talking down to people like that. It's a time for everybody to be coming together, and we can brush ourselves off. We can get through this, and the New England scene is has never been better. With the number of bands that are just absolutely killing it now, the number of venues across the entire region that are killing it. Jewel up in Manchester, Fett in Providence, Toad's Place, and Cellar on Treadwell out in Connecticut. They're absolutely killing it, and those are just a couple of the venues. Um, go out, support your local venue. Go out, support your local band. Um, I can't stress that enough. People say that rock music and heavy metal music are dying. They're not dying. It's just people are losing faith in some of the fans. They're losing faith just because of the number of outlets that are supporting this type of music are decreasing. And we can change that. We can change course. And these bands are doing everything they can to get out there to make music, and there's never been more outlets for them. Maybe it's not in the traditional sense, but they're definitely getting it done, and we here at NRM Radio, you know, mad respect to you all. We love you guys. We thank you for listening. We thank you for supporting. And just some of the comments that we've been receiving over the past couple of days, just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We'll continue supporting the scene. And we appreciate you guys supporting us. I know there's been a lot of people out there responding to posts saying, AAF is gone. Now where are we going to listen to music? And there's a ton of great online stations out there. I'm not going to get into them, but message me. I'll be more than happy to let you know. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and thank you to everyone who's responding. Listen to New England Rock and Metal Radio, nrmradio.com, and just keep it real and keep rocking.